He moved quietly through the alien ship's long corridor. The lights were dim. Only a soft hum from the engines filled the silence. He wasn't supposed to be awake at this hour. But sleep never came easy in a place where every wall felt alive, every door ready to open with danger. He turned a corner and froze. A faint glow spilled out from an open chamber door. His heart raced. Curiosity pulling him closer, fear pushing him back. He stepped closer anyway, inside. She stood. The alien beauty. She was tall, skin shimmering faintly like moonlight on water. Her long silver hair flowed over her shoulders as she unclasped the piece of armor, letting it fall to the ground with a soft metallic clang. Piece by piece, she removed what she wore, until the strange, glowing patterns on her skin were bare to the air. He swallowed hard. Every instinct told him to look away. Yet his eyes refused to move. Her back was turned to him. Smooth, graceful, almost human but not. The glowing lines across her shoulders moved with every breath, alive like veins of light. His chest rose and fell fast as if he had run miles. He leaned slightly against the doorframe, not noticing the soft hiss of air beneath his boot. She turned her head. Her eyes caught his in the reflection of a polished wall. Bright, piercing, dangerous. His whole body froze. Caught, the silence between them was heavy. He waited for her to scream, to call the guards, to end him. Instead, she tilted her head slightly, lips curving in something between a smile and a warning. So. Her voice was low, smooth, carrying a sharp edge. The human likes to watch. He opened his mouth, but no words came. Heat rushed to his face. He wanted to run, yet his legs refused. She turned fully now, not rushing to cover herself, not ashamed at all. Her glowing markings traced across her chest, her arms, her hips. Alive with every movement, she walked closer, slow, measured steps, as if she enjoyed watching him panic. Do humans always stare like that? She asked softly, or is it only when a woman undresses? He tried to answer, stammering, I didn't mean, Her smile grew wider, teasing. Didn't mean? Oh, but you meant something. Your eyes tell me more than your mouth ever could. Her words wrapped around him like chains. Part of him screamed this was dangerous one. Wrong move and he'd be dead. But another part, stronger, whispered that this was a game. Her game. She circled him slowly, close enough that he could feel the faint warmth of her skin, close enough to smell something sweet in the air around her. You breathe so fast, human, she whispered near his ear. Almost like you are. Afraid or excited. He clenched his fists, forcing himself to stay calm. I wasn't spying, he managed, his voice rough. Her laugh was soft, musical, dangerous. Of course you weren't, she said with mocking sweetness. You were appreciating. His chest tightened. Every word of hers carried double meaning, sharp and playful at the same time. She stopped in front of him, leaning just close. Enough for him to see the faint glow in her pupils. Tell me, human, she whispered. Do all your kind fall so easily into temptation? He had no answer. Only the pounding of his heart. Her smile returned slow, dangerous, knowing. Then stay, watch. I want to see how brave a human really is. She stepped back slightly, her body still half bare in the glowing light. She didn't cover herself. She didn't hide. Instead, she tilted her head, eyes never leaving his. He didn't know if this was a test, a trap, or an invitation. But he knew one thing. If he moved, if he spoke, if he failed, his life might end in this very room. Her lips parted. Soft, slow, each word dripping like honey. Tell me, human, she whispered, leaning closer again. Did you? Like what you saw? The silence after her question was heavy, alive with danger and desire. Naughty question for comments. If you were in his place, would you run away or stay and answer her question? The air between them grew heavier. He could hear his own heartbeat echoing in his chest, louder than the hum of the ship. She didn't look angry. She looked amused. Dangerously amused. Her lips curved, slow and deliberate, as she circled him like a predator playing with its prey. Humans. She whispered, dragging the word like it was something exotic on her tongue. Always so curious. Always so weak when a woman decides to show herself. His throat tightened. I wasn't. I didn't come to. She raised a finger, silencing him instantly. She hissed, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. You've already said enough with your eyes. Her steps were unhurried, almost taunting. She let her fingers glide across the wall as she moved, her gaze locked on him like he was caught in a trap. You stood there, she said softly, breathing fast, eyes wide, your body shaking as if you saw something forbidden. Her smile widened, and yet, you didn't run. He swallowed hard, trying to keep his voice steady. Maybe I'm braver than you think. Her laugh was soft, mocking, and oddly musical. Brave? No. Brave would have been knocking on my door. She leaned closer, so close he could feel her breath warm against his cheek. What you did was naughty. Heat rose in his face. Her words cut like blades, but the way she said them, slow, teasing, heavy with meaning, made his chest burn. You know what I could do? She whispered. Her glowing eyes narrowed, but her lips stayed in a playful smirk. I could call the guards. Have you thrown into the void, and no one would ask why. One word from me, and you disappear. His body tensed. She enjoyed saying it, testing him, watching how far his courage or foolishness would hold. But instead of fear, he found himself smirking back. You'd miss me, he said quietly. Her laughter came sharp this time, surprised, amused. Oh, the human dares to tease? Her finger traced along his chest, slow, deliberate, stopping just at the edge of his collar. You think I'd miss your eyes staring where they shouldn't? He tried to keep steady. I think you'd miss the fact I wasn't afraid of you. For the first time, her smile faltered just slightly, her gaze flicking across his face, searching curious. Then she leaned back, folding her arms beneath her chest, the glow of her markings shimmering with every move. Maybe, she said softly. Or maybe I'm just curious how long you can last before you break. He didn't answer. Not yet. He knew her words were a test. A game, a dangerous mix of temptation and power. Her voice lowered again, husky, playful. Do humans always get this excited when they peek at a woman undressing? Or are you just different? He finally forced himself to breathe. If I said different, would you believe me? She smirked, stepping even closer, until her lips nearly brushed his ear. I'd make you prove it. His body tensed, every nerve alive, waiting for what came next. But instead of touching him, she suddenly stepped away. Her eyes glittered with challenge. If you want to leave, leave now, she said softly. Run down the hall, pretend this never happened. And maybe I'll forget your little crime. He didn't move. Her smirk returned. Or, stay here in the wolf's den. Keep watching me. Keep daring me. She tilted her head, hair spilling over one shoulder. Let's see if your courage is real, or just a human lie. The silence stretched between them. The hum of the alien ship sounded distant, meaningless. All that mattered was her glowing eyes. And his choice. His lips parted, but before he could speak, she leaned closer once more, voice dropping into a dangerous whisper. Stay or go, human. But if you stay, you play my game. Her hand brushed his arm as she passed, slow and deliberate, leaving a trail of warmth on his skin. She moved back toward the center of the room, her body bare in the glow. Her eyes locked on him. He couldn't look away. And he didn't move. Her lips curved again, so the human stays. she whispered. Her tone was a mix of triumph and curiosity, as if she wasn't sure whether to laugh or take him apart. Then her smile darkened. Sharp, teasing, hungry. In that case, let's begin. Naughty question for comments. If she made you choose run away or stay and play her game, what would you do? He didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stood there, locked in her glowing stare. The alien beauty tilted her head, amused. So the human chooses to stay, she said softly, her voice dripping with dangerous sweetness. You're either very brave or very stupid. He forced a smirk, though his heart thundered. Maybe both. Her laugh echoed through the chamber. Low, playful, mocking. Oh, I like that. A human who knows he's a fool. She circled him again, her bare footsteps silent on the metallic floor. Every time she passed near, her glowing skin brushed close enough for him to feel warmth, like fire under silk. You know what they say about humans? She whispered behind him. That you're weak, fragile, always hiding behind your ships and weapons. She leaned closer, lips near his ear. But tonight, you didn't hide. He swallowed hard. You seem disappointed. Her lips curved into a smile. No, curious. She stepped in front of him again, her markings shimmering faintly. With her breath, her eyes narrowed. Tell me, why didn't you run? He hesitated, then said quietly, because if I ran, you'd think I was just another weak human. For a moment, her smile faded. Her gaze studied him carefully, almost searching for a lie. Then, slowly, her lips curved into something else, interesting. Her hand rose, not to strike, but to trace lightly along his jawline. Maybe you're not like the others. Her touch was warm, electric, almost tender. But her eyes stayed sharp, like a predator still deciding whether to eat or keep the prey. You know what happens now, don't you? She asked softly. If you stay, you play my game. He breathed in slowly. What kind of game? Her smirk widened, the dangerous kind. She stepped back, letting her hair fall across her bare shoulders. Perhaps I will tempt you. Perhaps I will test you. Her voice lowered, dripping with double meaning. Maybe I'll see just how strong or weak a human body really is. He clenched his jaw, but managed a crooked grin. You call that a test? Sounds more like an invitation, for the first time. She actually froze. Her eyes narrowed, her lips parting just slightly in surprise. Then, she laughed. Oh, bold, she whispered. Very bold. You speak like a male who doesn't know he's prey. His smirk grew. Maybe I'm not the prey here. Her laughter stopped. Her glowing eyes locked on his sharp, piercing. But behind them, a flicker of something else. Something unguarded. No alien male had ever spoken to her like that. No one dared. Yet this human, this fragile, foolish human, stood there and teased her back. Slowly she stepped closer, pressing one hand lightly against his chest. She could feel his heartbeat pounding beneath his shirt. Fast, hot, alive. You say you're not prey, she whispered. Her lips almost brushed his cheek. Then show me. His breath caught. This was no simple game anymore. It was something more dangerous, more intimate. But before he could answer, the chambers. Lights flickered. The hum of the ship grew louder. Footsteps echoed faintly in the corridor outside. She froze. Her eyes darted to the door. Then back to him. Her voice dropped, urgent but teasing. If they find you here, you're dead. She leaned closer. Again, her lips curling into a wicked smile. But if you want to live, you'll have to do exactly what I say. Her hand pressed harder against his chest, keeping him still. Her glowing eyes narrowed with challenge, so human. She whispered, voice dripping with danger and temptation. Will you trust me? The door handle shifted. Someone was about to enter. Time ran thin. He had seconds to decide. Trust the alien beauty who teased him, who could betray him in a heartbeat? Or risk death by being caught here? Her lips brushed near his ear, soft and taunting. Choose fast, or you won't get another chance. Naughty question for comments. If you were him, would you trust the alien beauty with your life, or take your chances alone? Asterisk, the door hissed. A shadow fell across the chamber entrance. He froze, breath caught in his throat. Her hand was still pressed against his chest, firm but warm. Her glowing eyes darted to the doorway, then back to him. She leaned in so close he could feel her lips brush his ear. "Don't move," she whispered. The footsteps outside slowed, then stopped. A muffled voice spoke in her alien tongue, deep, male, suspicious. She answered quickly, smoothly in the same language. Her voice calm, casual, as if nothing was wrong. All the while, her hand stayed on him, pinning him against the wall. The voice lingered, but after a tense moment, the footsteps moved away. The door never opened, only when the hall was silent. Again did she pull back slightly. Her smile returned, slow and sly. "See, you live because of me." He let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Or maybe because you like keeping me alive." Her eyes narrowed playfully. "You think too highly of yourself, human." She stepped back just a little, but not far enough to give him space. Her markings glowed faintly in the dim light, tracing every curve of her body like fire drawn on skin. "You know," she whispered, tilting her head, "most men of my kind, they fear me. They see me as a weapon, a killer, not a woman." Her lips curled, almost bitter. "But you dared to see me differently. You dared to look." He smirked, still catching his breath, hard not to. Her laugh came soft but with heat. "Careful, human. Compliments from prey sound like begging." He met her gaze boldly. "Then maybe I'm not begging." His smile sharpened. "Maybe I just meant every word." Her laughter stopped. For the first time, she blinked, caught off guard. Her lips parted slightly, as if she wanted to reply but couldn't find the words. No one had ever said that to her before. Not like that. Her chest rose and fell faster now, her markings glowing brighter with every breath. She stepped closer, so close that her body nearly brushed his. "Do humans always flirt with danger this way?" she asked softly. Her voice trembled faintly, though her smile stayed sharp. "Or is it just you?" He didn't back down. "Maybe it's just me." Her lips curved again, but slower this time. Not mocking, not cruel. Something warmer. "You're either the bravest man I've ever met," she whispered, "or the most foolish." Her hand lifted, fingers brushing lightly against his jaw. The touch was soft, lingering. Too long to be only a tease. She leaned in, closer, until her lips hovered near his. Her breath was warm, carrying a sweet, strange scent that made his head spin. And then she kissed him. It was brief, quick. Almost stolen, but enough to burn through his chest like fire. Enough to make his knees weaken. Enough to make her pull back with a sudden startled look, as if she had just shocked herself. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The only sound was the hum of the alien ship, and the thundering of his heart. Then her lips curved again, this time into a darker smile. "Careful, human," she whispered. "Keep looking at me like that, and I might forget which one of us is the predator." He smirked, still breathless. "Maybe I want you to forget." Her laugh came sharp and breathless, almost a shiver. "You're dangerous," she said softly, "not because of strength, but because of words." The tension between them was thick now, heated, trembling on the edge of something more. But then, alarms blared through the ship. Loud, piercing, urgent. She spun toward the door, markings glowing brighter, eyes narrowing in alarm. Her bare shoulders tensed, ready for battle. He stood behind her, confused. "What's happening?" She glanced back at him, eyes sharp but unreadable. "They're searching," she whispered. "For something. Or someone." Her lips curved again, slow and dangerous. "Maybe you." The alarms grew louder, echoing through the corridors. The ship shuddered faintly, as if preparing for war. She stepped closer to him again, her voice low, urgent, but still taunting. "You trusted me once already, human. Do you dare trust me again?" Her glowing eyes locked on his, full of temptation and danger. Naughty question for comments. If the alarms were for you, would you keep trusting the alien beauty, or try to escape on your own? The alarms echoed through the ship. Red lights pulsed across the walls, painting her glowing skin in flashes of danger. He stood frozen, the sound rattling through his chest. Her hand caught his arm, pulling him closer, pressing him against the shadowed wall. "Stay quiet," she whispered sharply. Her body was pressed against his now, too close, too warm. Every beat of her heart thudded against him. Every breath she took brushed across his lips. Boots thundered down the corridor outside. Alien voices barked orders, searching, hunting. He held his breath, muscles tight, afraid one sound would give him away. But she didn't move from him, didn't pull away. Her eyes stayed locked on his, glowing softly even in the red flashes of alarm. When the footsteps faded, silence returned. Only then did she exhale. Slow and shaky. Her lips curved again, but this time it wasn't mocking. It was softer, almost human. You see, human. This is what danger feels like. One wrong sound, and both of us are dead. He smirked, though his chest still pounded. Then maybe being dead with you isn't the worst way to go. Her eyes widened slightly, then narrowed, but her smile lingered. Do all human males speak like this? Or are you trying too hard to impress me? He leaned forward just enough to make her blink. Maybe I just mean it, her breath caught. For the first time, her teasing mask cracked. Her hand lingered on his chest, fingertips tracing absent patterns. "You're strange. You don't look at me like the others. Not like I'm a weapon, not like I'm just skin." He tilted his head, his voice low, steady. "Maybe because I don't see a weapon." His eyes held hers. "I see a woman." Her lips parted slightly, as if she wanted to argue. But no words came. Her markings glowed brighter across her collarbone, like fire flaring under her skin. "Careful," she whispered, though her voice trembled faintly. "Words like that could break me." He leaned closer, bold. "Then maybe you need someone to break you free." For a long moment, silence stretched, her gaze locked on his, unblinking, sharp, but soft beneath the surface. Then she laughed, suddenly shaking her head. "You humans, always turning weakness into strength, always daring with your mouths before your fists." Her lips curved into a dangerous smile. "I should hate that, but it makes me curious." Her hand slipped lower, brushing dangerously close to his waist before pulling back. "Tell me, human," she whispered, her smile wicked. "If you had the chance, would you tame me? Or let me tame you?" His smirk returned instantly. "Why not both?" She blinked, surprised, then burst into laughter, real laughter this time, rich and sharp. Her shoulders shook, her hair falling forward, and for the first time, she looked less like a predator and more like a woman caught off guard. Her laughter faded slowly, but her smile stayed. "You are playing with fire," she whispered, leaning close again, her lips brushing near his. "And you don't even care if it burns you." He whispered back, steady, bold. "Maybe I like the heat." Her lips brushed his again, just barely a kiss that never fully landed, but lingered on the edge of something more. But then, the alarms shifted tone. A new voice boomed over the ship's comms, harsh and commanding. "All chambers will be searched." No exceptions. Her smile faded. Her eyes hardened again, sharp and calculating. She gripped his wrist, her markings glowing brighter. "They'll find you," she whispered. "And if they do, you die." He stared at her, breathing hard. "Then hide me. You want me alive, don't you?" Her lips curved again, slow and dangerous. "Want you alive, or want you close?" She leaned so near, her words burned hot against his ear. "Maybe I don't know the difference anymore." She pulled him with sudden force, guiding him toward the inner shadows of her chamber, toward a hidden alcove behind her bed of alien silks. Her body pressed against his again as she shielded him from view. "Stay here," she whispered. Her eyes glowed like molten fire as she leaned even closer, lips curling into a dangerous smile. "And if they ask questions, remember, you belong to me." The door hissed open. Heavy boots entered. Voices barked orders. She turned, stepping forward to face them, tall, bare, glowing, unashamed Dot, and with one glance over her shoulder. She smirked at him, as if daring him to survive this moment. Naughty question for comments. If she claimed you were hers in front of everyone, would you play along or deny it? Asterisk. The soldiers entered. Their armor clanked as they spread across the chamber, scanning every corner with sharp eyes. He stayed hidden in the alcove, his breath shallow, heart pounding in his chest. One slip, one sound, and he was finished. But she stood tall in the center of the room, bare, glowing, fearless. Her eyes held no shame, only fire. One of the soldiers spoke sharply in their tongue. She answered with calm authority, her voice smooth as silk, commanding, unquestionable. They hesitated. Even armed, even armored, they shifted under her gaze. Her hand brushed down her side slowly, deliberately, as if reminding them who she was. Not just a woman, but a weapon. A daughter of war. Finally, they saluted and withdrew, leaving the chamber. The door hissed closed. Silence returned. She turned back toward the alcove. Her eyes glowed faintly in the red shadows. "You can breathe now, human," she whispered. He stepped out, his chest rising and falling fast. "You saved me again." Her lips curved in a slow smile. "Not because I had to, but because I wanted to." He tilted his head. "Wanted to keep me alive?" Her smile sharpened. "Wanted to keep you close." She stepped forward, closing the distance. Her fingers brushed against his shirt, tracing lightly down his chest. "You see, human, you've done something no one else has." He raised an eyebrow. "What's that?" Her eyes locked with his. "You made me feel." Her voice trembled, faintly on the last word, as if it burned to admit it. He smirked, leaning closer. "Maybe that's what humans do best." Her lips parted, and for a long moment, she didn't speak. "Then," she whispered, "show me." The air grew hotter between them. Her body brushed against his glowing markings, alive like fire dancing across her skin. She pressed him back against the wall, her lips hovering just above his, her breath hot, her eyes daring. But instead of kissing her, he lifted his hand and cupped her face gently, soft, careful, a human touch. She blinked, surprised. Her lips trembled. You don't rush?" He smiled faintly. "No, because you're not just a body to me, you're more." Her eyes widened, then softened, glowing faintly brighter. Her chest rose and fell quickly. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Her hand gripped his shirt, tighter, trembling. "You foolish human," she whispered. "Sweet words will be the death of me." He smirked again. "Then I'll die with you." That broke her. Her lips crashed against his, hot and desperate. The kiss was fire, raw, wild, consuming. She pushed closer, her glowing body pressed against him, her breath ragged as if she'd been starving for this. For once, she wasn't a warrior. For once, she wasn't a weapon. For once, she was just a woman. But before the fire could consume them fully, the alarms blared again. This time louder, sharper. Urgent. She froze, lips still inches from his, eyes flashing with sudden fear. Her head whipped toward the door. "They know," she whispered. "They know you're here." He grabbed her wrist. "Then we run." But she shook her head, markings glowing brighter. "No, if we run, they'll hunt us down. The only way you live," her eyes burned into his, "is if I claim you." His brows furrowed. "Claim? Me?" Her lips curled into a dangerous smile. "In my world. If I say you are mine, no one can touch you, not even the king himself." He stared at her, stunned. "And if you don't?" Her eyes narrowed, sharp with both desire and danger. "Then they kill you, slowly." She pressed her forehead against his, her breath fast, her lips trembling near his. "So choose, human." She whispered, "Will you let me claim you as mine, or die free?" The chamber lights flickered. The footsteps outside grew louder. The door began to hiss open again. Naughty question. For comments, if an alien beauty offered to claim you as hers to save your life, would you accept or refuse? The door hissed open. Heavy boots stormed in, the chamber flooding with soldiers. Their weapons glowed, aimed directly at him. He didn't move, didn't flinch. He stood tall, staring back at them, even as his pulse thundered in his chest. Stepped in front of him instantly, her glowing body blocking their view. Her voice cracked through the air, sharp and commanding in her native tongue. The soldiers hesitated. One barked something back, angry, questioning. Her eyes narrowed, fierce. She snapped her reply like a whip. Then she did the unthinkable. She reached back, grabbed his hand, and pulled him forward, out of the shadows. The soldiers' eyes widened. Their weapons rose higher, but before they could act, her voice rang out like fire. "He is mine." The chamber fell into silence. Even the alarm seemed quieter under the weight of her words. The soldiers glanced at one another, uncertain. No one dared move. His breath caught as he looked at her. Her grip on his hand was firm, almost desperate. Her glowing eyes locked on him with a fire that wasn't just for show. She wasn't bluffing. She meant it. Finally, one soldier lowered his weapon. Then another. With stiff salutes, they backed away, their eyes full of shock and fear. The door hissed closed again. They were alone once more. He exhaled slowly, his heart racing. "You just saved my life." She turned to him, still holding his hand. "No," she whispered. "I just tied your life to mine." Her markings glowed brighter, alive across her skin. Her lips curled into a dangerous smile. "In my world, claiming you means forever." He blinked. "Forever? You mean?" Her hand slid up his chest, her voice dropping into a husky whisper. "You belong to me now, my mate, my man, my human." His lips parted. He should have been afraid. Instead, he smirked. "Guess that makes you mine too." She froze, then laughed suddenly, breathless, almost shaken. "You dare claim me back?" He leaned closer, bold as ever. "Humans don't play half games." Her laughter faded into something softer, more real. Her eyes burned with heat, but also something deeper. Something she had never let anyone see before. Slowly, she pulled him close. Her lips pressed against his, long and hungry, her body trembling against his. It wasn't just fire now. It was surrender. For once. She wasn't the predator. For once. She let herself be his dot when she finally pulled back. Her breath was ragged, her eyes glowing fiercely. "Human," she whispered, "you have no idea what you've done." He smiled faintly. "Maybe I do." Before she could answer, the comes blared again, the voice of the king himself shaking the chamber. "My daughter, you will present yourself at once. And bring the human with you." Her body stiffened. Her eyes widened, glowing brighter. "The king knows," she whispered. "He knows about us." He tightened his grip on her hand. "Then let's face him together." She looked at him, stunned. No fear in his eyes. No hesitation. Her lips trembled into a smile, half terrified, half proud. "You're insane," he grinned. "Or maybe human enough to win." The chamber door hissed again. More soldiers waited outside, ready to escort them. The path ahead was clear. They had to face the king, the entire alien court, and a choice. That could spark war. Or change everything. She leaned close one last time before stepping out, whispering hot against his ear, "Stay close, human. Because if this ends tonight, you're ending in my bed." Her smile was wicked, daring, alive with heat, and together, hand in hand, they walked toward their fate. Naughty question for comments. If the alien king forced you to prove your bond with his daughter in front of everyone, how would you do it?